right, but they've both been involved in bringing these major French teams over for these off-season games as well, particularly in the Texas. I think when the Highlanders came last year and they played that game with the French team, was it the Parisian team? Yeah. It's great to see that kind of rugby here in Hong Kong.
Yeah, we're very lucky to have that opportunity, actually.
Honestly, Robin, nowhere else in the world can you wander around the streets and run into so many rugby legends. In fact, just look what's walking in front of us. I think they're the Wallabies, aren't they?
The classics.
The Wallabies with Wendell Sailor. I mean, you walk and you get to know people that, frankly, you would never get to know in your home countries, really, to the level you do here, because people, even when they're still playing or after they play, they come here and you meet them in social events.
Well, they're all very accessible and all very amenable. I mean, all the people that come here, they're wonderful ambassadors for the game. No matter who they are, they're all very friendly and have a chat. And actually, I just saw Brucey, interesting enough, a bit of a YouTube clip with Big Dell. He thought he was coming to an over 35s tournament and didn't realise it was going to be a bit more full on.
Yes.
So, beautiful to see how he goes.
Well, here we go. This, I think, is the least predictable game so far of the day.
Who would you be cheering for, Brucey?
Well, I've thought long and hard about it, and much as the old alliance exists between Scotland and France, in this case, I'm going to lean towards the Scottish team. Yes.
Fair enough, too. So this is the local derby team pretty much here with the Exiles.
And we're underway. Well, that would have gone straight into touch, but the Gavekal guy went for it and knocked it in, so a good start for Scottish Exiles, sponsored by Taiku Place.
Nice take.
Good lean out, so we'll see what they've got. This is a very skillful 10, the lad that's played at Scottish this year. Played a lot of 7s in his time as well. Scrum to the Scottish Exiles.
This is always an interesting first scrum's always going to tell you how it's going to play out. I mean, you need to be able to contain and get your own ball here. So let's see, there's some big lads in the
Gavekal have got some big boys. Not that Jamie Pincott's small and slight.
As you're probably aware, the Scottish are in the purple and the Gavekal are in the dark blue.
That's a good point.
Good point, yeah. Just in case.
Wait, and I have forgotten to do that.
And the referee is in the orange. And yeah.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to note that the ex-Valley rugby coach Jack Isaac is coaching this Gavekal team. So he's come from France. He got a contract back in France last season and left Hong Kong, but he did a great job while he was here, taking Valley Rugby Club to another Premiership win and a championship win in the league and cup.
Funny little kick down there, no one's home.
Scotland, the Scottish team had to really work to retain the ball there. Very aggressive defence from Gavekal in contact. And that kick's just gone too far. 22 dropouts, not too bad though.
Cunning.
Taking quick.
Nice big tackle there. Didn't shy away. Looks like a danger man out here. They're going to overlap. The screen's very useful. Nice stepping.
Oh, great stepping and passing to his. Oh, they've got to put him on the ground, stop them offloading. That's a good tackle.
Got to close them down real quick. Don't give these people space. I think it's going to be a big mistake. Oh, knock on there. Lucky escape for Scottish.
I said these new balls have got a little shine on them actually when we start off these tournaments, and with a bit of sweat on them, it also can add a little bit of slipperiness to them.
It's a good hit up with the Scottish team, taking it fairly directly through the middle to start. It's whether they've got the gas out wide. It's always the local team when we play here.
Nice hand off there.
Found out for pace.
They're certainly not shying away from it.
Oh, that's a big hit, and that'll be a knock-on, I think, from the.
A bit slow getting up, but he is getting up nonetheless. Mind you, the tackler's not looking too quick either.
Number 5 put the hit in there for Gavekal, which is. I don't think it is Matt Graham. I think they've got a number 5. This is another trick they've played with us. They've given us teamless squad numbers, and then the mystery player turns up.
Mr. X.
Well, Mr. 5 at this time, actually, was in his point. Yeah. tell you he's quite big.
A bit of pressure coming on there.
A lot of
Lost
pressure
the ball.
on the tight head.
It's a very dominant scrum from Gavekal. That's a forward pass, though.
Really got to win their own ball. Makes it a very long, hard day if you can't command the set piece.
That's right.
In any form of the game.
I think let's hope that was just they get caught by surprise and they can dig in another scrum, because if that's going to happen, well, we'll know now. It's their ball.
Got to say at the moment a little bit here, I'd say, Bruce, it's going Gavekal's way, I think.
Yeah, the Scottish have had the ball, but they've not looked at all threatening. The Scottish excellent. And here's our final commentator, Terry Wright, arriving late, just because he's an ex-All Black, but obviously we give him some privileges. So we'll be, at some point, Mr. Dooley and I shall be taking a rest to discuss what we got wrong earlier on, and passing over to Terry and Robin to give you much more informed things, like remembering to tell you what colours the teams are playing in.
Well, I'm sure between Terry and Robin, I'll give you the long and the short of it, and all the way through until we resume.
So that was a penalty for ruck was called, and hands were still in the ruck. So once that ruck is formed, hands are going to be clear.
Penalty to Scottish. Let's see what they can do off their own ball here. So at half-time, we'll hand over to Terry and Robin for properly, shall we, Leighton? We'll get 5 minutes more to talk some serious nonsense.
I think Robin's choking there, Bruce. You know the Heimlich manoeuvre?
That's
Here we go, line out.
good
Scottish,
ball.
nice take.
Oh, that's not playing the
unlucky.
scrum off that.
Oh, he's gone backwards.
Went
Let it go.
backwards, called it. Not sure why that's
And we went for the
kicking
drop
away.
ball.
I think
Interesting option there. They had the ball and they kicked it through.
I was going to say he's trying to drop goal. I think that will be a fine session later on.
Stadium commentator
Maybe-
right on
maybe
his back
sculling
straight
him-
away.
sculling a drunk.
I think all that did was kill a few worms. Can you get worms in this AstroTurf?
Bacteria, kill a few bacteria.
Right.
You can't see them waiting, but they're there. Another scrum. I think the Scottish Exiles might not be entirely happy with this.
Yeah. I think that's the edges
On
of
the
it coming
funny-
Gavekal's way there.
on the unusual side, it's the Gavekal ball, so it might not be quite as hard work.
As you can see, the 5/8 scrum half is has to hang around the back to cover the blind side, because obviously there's no flankers in here.
Line out ball here to Scottish.
I'll have to say this is the first time Gavekal have been down here. I mean,
Right.
they've looked the more threatening team, you might say, but they've not been.
Nice take.
That's
Good line out
good
ball.
line out
Well
ball.
done. Running some angles. Nice hit in the middle there. Big strong staying on
That's
his
good
feet.
yards, good exit drive out there.
Kane, Kane Bacall, who's been
Ball still
outstanding
holding
in
in.
the domestic
And
season here, doing well with his carry there.
So they're spreading it wide. They're spreading to from 5 to 5.
Good ball retention.
That's knocked down.
It's a bit of a slap down, yeah.
Deliberate knockdown by Gavekal. Quick penalty taken by the Scottish Exiles, very quick.
Where's his options
maybe
though?
not
He's
got
looking
his
for a run-up.
runners.
I thought it'd be a bit more severe for a slap down like that. I've seen people send off the paddock and
Oh, and that's an unlucky
That's right,
deflect.
yeah.
Kane trying to get back.
That's a kick
Oh,
through.
good pace and defence from Sven.
yeah, big fella did well.
Oh,
did
that
really
was a
well.
close one.
And cool from Kane
Yeah,
as the ball goes dead for the 22 dropout to Scottish.
Changeover for Taipei Place Scottish Exiles. Off comes the Sunbird number 3, Sam Hoffman.
And another pretty big chap coming on here
Francis Smith.
for Scottish.
And for UBB Gavekal, entering the game is number 8, Gavekal Williams. And number 11.
so scrum going down here. Scottish ball struggling a bit here in the set piece. Bit of scramble, looking pretty solid on the line out, very good in the open play, retaining possession. Just quite seem to control this aspect, and they need to. Bit more heft in that Gavekal. That's well done, that one. Nicely done on that scrum. Oh, good tackle, got the ball away nicely. Good run out line. 15, and he's still going. Oh, couldn't gather it in.
Penalty there. Great exit plan, but and a penalty here.
What was he calling there? Offside?
Seems to be an offside decision there. Yep.
Never really understood that offside rule, really, myself. Bruce, you confused me.
I think you had a version quite akin to Italian internationals when they played England, actually. I think you invented that.
Well, I discovered it, I think.
You invented that, though, exactly.
I didn't know they broadcast Carling special games up to European League, but obviously.
I don't want to sound pessimistic for Scottish here, because they've got lots of ball. I just don't think they've got the legs out wide. They're quick, but they're playing some really quick players.
I mean, the Gavekal boys out wide are pretty quick.
There's some fairly big hits going in there as well.
Yeah,
so
big hits, exactly. So
which does say a lot about the attacking team. When the big hits are going in, it means the defending team are quite up.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If the tackles aren't going in so hard, it means that the attacking team are creating that forward momentum.
They're going well. Kane, good carry again there. They're making some ground through the middle, but I just don't think when they get in the half break.
I think the Gavekal's just physically more imposing.
Yeah, and you have to say that the Scottish team's done really well. That's just a
scrappy ball.
Ambitious.
Who's claiming that one?
Why?
Gavekal got the ball. Oh, lost
good,
that one forward.
Good hit for Jamie Pincott.
Gave him the ball. Now it's half time.
No. As we said, lads, this is one that we were going to find very, very hard to call. And here comes Terry. And despite our earlier calls, actually, Terry's partner commentator, Reese, is not actually here. So Terry's going to come in for. You go first, Leighton. You're in that side.
I'm gonna take. I need to go and take a bit of pressure off the nether regions.
And UBB Gavekal.
Sorry.
Leighton Dooley away for some well-earned rest and to do some further research.
Great opportunity to bring to your attention tomorrow night's after party. I think it's a little bit too early to start mentioning after parties. Personally, I think it's a little bit late. If you don't get your tickets, then you want to get them on the day. They are selling. They're selling fast.
So on the park, this is a really, really tight game. Anyone can win it. You just have the impressions. I've just been asked by a New Zealander if I've got any interpreters. I don't know whether he wants to know if I speak sheep or what it is, but the game's going well. This is hanging, and Scottish just need to make something of this possession. I suppose that's probably why Greg Kerr went for the drop goal. He realises they've got a lot of ball, but they're finding this defence really hard to penetrate. Robin, what do you think?
Definitely. I feel that the Scottish have got a lot of the ball, but I say they're not finding those spaces. Maybe they need to just spread the ball a bit wide and keep the ball for a few more phases, and move from 5 to 5.
Yeah, but they're keeping the phases. Yeah. They're keeping a lot of phases, Robin. I'll give you that. It's just and maybe they just have to work it up slowly and incrementally is the best they can do. You never know. We might get a clean break. They get some skillful players. It's just that extra yard or two in pace that I think I worry about.
Just creating the line break. But as I say, it's still 0-0. So if they still keep this ball and maybe get a try, and one try can seal this game.
If you're a neutral, you don't know the team. They've had the better of the first half.
Definitely, yes.
Although you can see the threat, both physically and pace-wise.
Yes, definitely with the Gavekal team. If they just keep a bit of ball and play through their process and phases, without dropping, they probably will score. but we'll see how they go in this second half. Yeah.
Finally, we're joined by Terry Wright, ex-All Black, a well-known rugby expert, who's going to give us his knowledge here as Scotland play Scottish Exiles play Gavekal. Welcome, Terry.
Yeah, good to be on board.
Like yourself, Terry, we throw you straight in the deep end. There we go. So.
I think the players would be a little bit dismayed to see the sun poking through and the day warming up.
Yeah.
That Scottish team earlier on that did well, when it was 24 degrees, they were thinking this is great, but it's getting warmer now. So
it is. I'm looking at the temp gauge on the far side,
and it's 25.
It's gone up to 25, which
in mid-afternoon, what you reckon? 29?
I think probably it would be hitting that 27 actually. So 27, 28, which.
Now that's a good carry from the Scottish player out wide. Now if they come back quickly,
they are working hard there to get over that gain line.
And a good pick and go.
And a penalty in the pocket just in case. So they've got a chance to have a go.
Just broke down in midfield, but they have the penalty. They have to go to the corner from there, Robin.
I think they might do actually. Slow that gain down a little bit. And
the thing is, they have got a great kicker, and it's so hard to get points, but they must. Well, they're not. They're going to. No, they're going to.
They're going to go to the corner.
I think they had a glance at the height of the Gavekal players before they chose that line-out option.
Yeah, well, they've done all right in the line-out, Terry, so far. But yes, there's some tall timber there in the Gavekal players. But clean one ball, and we're going to go for the maul. No, just going for the canny.
Good drive, little high.
Little high, and lost his support, to tell the truth.
I'd say maul taken in.
Oh. And the scrum.
He's giving him the scrum as well.
He actually probably wasn't a maul, Robin. It broke up very early
probably,
in the player game. But this must be Scottish Exiles' chance. But they need to get this in and out the scrum.
This could be their chance, actually. The Scottish to get some points on the board.
The game very much still in the balance. I mean,
yeah. And with that little Kowloon flavour, we might just get a Kowloon player over on the edge. Just, Kowloon, Scottish, both of them after my own heart.
Interesting.
Seven and a half minutes to go, and this is a really tight game of rugby.
You wonder this close to the line, they'll use a bit of guile to get across the line, or do you think they're going to try and bludgeon their way across?
I think they'll try and go wide if they come over here. Oh, and that's not really surprising the way the scrums have gone earlier.
It is.
And unfortunately,
and a bit of lip to the referee, and
sadly,
we don't like to hear things against the referee, but that's
a little. I thought that would be a little harsh on myself.
A little harsh, Robin,
given the game.
This early, given where the game is.
Well, he's certainly let the players know who's in charge.
Definitely.
Yeah, 10-a-side rugby, it's 3 minutes off the park. We have the rules. I think it's 2. That's really, really harsh on Scottish.
That could be the tipping point. Actually, that might change this game.
Gavekal ball, and they'll be looking to capitalise on the extra man here, but the Fijian goes straight up the middle. Pick and go. Shipped over the top by Gavekal, and it's a try under the post. Just that extra man coming to count there.
Opening try to UBB Gavekal. As we take a look
the most entertaining sight at the moment actually is my colleague Leighton Dooley doing a great secretarial job here, sorting out our pieces of paper which constantly blow away so we can announce some random names. But that's 5 minutes to go, 7-0 Gavekal, and
critical to get the conversion in the situation with the game so tight.
I don't know how much longer in the sin bin. Probably another minute for the Scottish player. They just maybe need something to break their way now.
I say that was the turning point in the game with the
that's a chance. That's
with the players standing off. So
it's an unfortunate knock-on by the Scottish player there.
Fortunately, the referee was playing advantage for the earlier knock-on by Gavekal, so Scottish get another opportunity.
If we can call a scrum an opportunity the way the last couple have gone, but hopefully they'll get it in and out.
it's interesting to see it. Well, obviously they're confident with the scrums because they haven't got anyone floating around the back there for the kick through, which I think could be the next.
Well, if there's one thing.
Very dominant scrum there from Gavekal. They pushed Scottish.
The referee
off the
was in two minds as to whether to give that. He gave it. It broke up, and Scottish played a bit. But I think all in all, it was the right decision.
I think he didn't keep his bind, so he broke his bind and picked up that ball.
That though, I think they'll go deep into the corner, and I presume that that's the Scottish player back. I believe. Yeah, 2 on, 1 off. I believe so. I believe that the sin bin player has returned. But they now have 3 minutes to rescue this game with Gavekal in the corner, and you would imagine they might go tight with this. Not straight line out.
Very good.
Now here's a
ball
decision
off
for
the top.
Scottish. Did they go line again? Because the scrum, no, they're going to take the scrum.
It would not be a bad idea there, John. I think with the way the scrums are going, I'd probably do that line out again, yes.
It always should. I mean, you're giving up you're admitting that you're losing it, but I think at this stage in the game, it would have been safer ball.
Yeah. They seem to be definitely far more consistent with the line outs than they are the scrums.
Need to get this in and out.
I say with a lot of these teams that have come out here to Hong Kong, some have not played together for a while, so they probably had maybe a run through the day before, or even in the morning, and so I think there's going to be more and more better rugby to come as the day goes on.
Absolutely, once they get used to each other.
Exactly.
And that's just a wee unfortunate knock-on from Scottish. They were trying to run it out from their own line, and it's going to be very difficult now. Under 2 minutes, Gavekal scrum, which is in a position they may even try to push over.
Yes, I think with the dominance of their scrum to date, it wouldn't be an unwise decision.
But the sin binning was just crucial. Really, the only stage in the game that Gavekal had any amount of ball was when the Exiles were down a player. Try Gavekal, game over.
Under pressure, yeah, there we go.
12-0 UBB Gavekal against Scottish. The next game up is team that made sensation.
Asia Pacific Dragons against the local team, the Hong Kong Football Club, the Texas Hong Kong Football Club. So it might be one to raise the crowd's interest and get a bit of support going.
What a football club got going, is it? You know, sometimes they can have some good players, and sometimes it's who can get off work to turn up.
It's always a little bit of a challenge. I think what they do have is ahead of some of the other teams is local knowledge, and they're familiar with these conditions, so they won't let the heat or the synthetic pitch worry them. So
the synthetic pitch and the temperature, but it's still a lot to make up. And this team here, this Asia Pacific Barbarians, the last few years, they've brought a mixture of old, really great players and then it's with a sprinkling of really sparkly youth as well. So big challenge for football club, but also great fun to play.
Yes.
Until you get tackled.
Ball back in Scottish hands, but again under immediate pressure from UBB Gavekal.
This is it. Yeah, the game's got away from Scottish now. That's a mistake though from on Gavekal.
Kicking deep into the
Try not to let it
Send
happen.
off Fonzie, playing here from Hong Kong Football Club for Gavekal. A bit of Fijian skill there. Great scrambling by the Scottish defence. Time's up on the clock. Penalty Gavekal.
Good support by Gavekal, and indeed good desperation by Scotland this late in the game with the
game lost, exactly.
The result decided.
Yeah, I think to sum up that game, I think that's as we said, the tipping point when they had 9 players on the pitch, and then obviously the team get themselves a try in there early.
Yeah. Right. I mean, they had the better of the ball. Scottish weren't doing too much, and you knew immediately they were a man down. They were really going to struggle against the pace and skill of this Gavekal team, who may go some way in this tournament.
Yeah, well, they certainly have a lot of size up front there. So every single set piece, the Scottish boys found themselves under a lot of pressure.
And welcoming them to the GFI Hong Kong Football Club
Football Club
for another year.
Doing quite well here because